me, Danielle Baker, and Mr. Sean Mack. Tonight is going to be super fun. But before we get into tonight's chronicle, first of all, thank you for your patience. We want to make sure that you are following us on Instagram. Definitely, if you're on Facebook, you want to check us out under the Facebook group, which is the Styyle Chronicles radio show, and that's Style with 2 Ys. We want to make sure that we're hearing from you tonight. Ladies, this is going to be all about girl talk, but of course we welcome our men to listen in and tune in, and if you have questions for us as well, you can definitely let us know. If you want to contact us tonight, you can call in at 1-888-400-5574. Again, that's 1-888-400-5574. If you want to reach us on Facebook, you want to go to the Styyle Chronicles radio show. That's the Style with 2 Ys. And also you can check us out on the web at www.thestylecronicles.wordpress.com. So I'm here with my other host, Mr. Sean Mack. He is going to be stepping in tonight into the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Mr. Mack, Mr. Mack.
Welcome. The smack is back.
The smack is back. The smack is here. So we got a lot of.
Are you excited?
I'm super excited about Girls Talk tonight.
Yes, I am.
Girls Talk is going to be everything we want it to be.
Is it really?
It is really. So it's going to be no boys allowed. So
no boys allowed. No men other than cousin.
Is the only person going to be in the building.
In the building. So, yeah. He has to check all the ladies before they come in.
No,
like the club. Yeah. Like
see,
the club.
You know what? Now I ain't tell them that. I ain't tell the ladies that. I don't want to get them all extra scared trying to figure out what's the frisk going on at the front door.
If the TSA can do it.
Hey, anybody can.
So can we.
So can we on the Styyle Chronicles.
Exactly. I'm excited. This should be a good show. I'm gonna definitely listen once I step out, and then not next week, but the week after next week I got talk. So right. I'm excited about that one. So then you're going to have to be here for a little bit, then roll out yourself.
Yeah, I know. Step in and peek in on the guys.
Exactly. Make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing and not in here sleep.
Absolutely.
But,
So, tonight's chronicle is all about girl talk. We have a strong panelist of experts coming in the building. So, first of all, when I was putting together what girl talk was going to be about, I wanted to think about all the topics that girls love or women love to talk about anyway.
Okay,
or even need help with. So, the topics that we have underneath of Girl Talk tonight is really interesting. We have someone that's going to be coming in that is a relationship coach, which is really awesome because, and she's also, her name of her business is Living the Vows. She deals with married couples, people that's in a relationship, and I think that this was extremely important because not only women, some men do too, but struggle in the dating arena, or even keeping ways to keep your marriage happy and afloat and something consistent that's going. So we're excited about having Miss Kirsten Young to come in. She's going to be handling the relationship side of things. Then we have a self-taught makeup artist coming in.
Okay.
And I wanted to give people a balance because when you think about, makeup, people think, I gotta be this big old makeup artist, I gotta be this, that, and the third, which though she is a makeup artist, but she taught herself. So I want her to encourage others that you can wear makeup. This is a person that really never wore makeup before, who started to do, learn how to do makeup, teaching herself. And, she's very great at her makeup. So we're gonna have Miss Sade, Faces by Sade Renee, that's gonna be coming in, giving us some some beauty tips, which is gonna be excellent, especially for those who are afraid of wearing makeup, like how to really get into it. So we have the makeup person, you're gonna have some of the beauty, we have the relationship piece, and then ladies, we have health and fitness. Lord Jesus, we all need help sometimes, right?
Well, you got a point in some area. One of those areas that you just said, definitely we need help.
Yes, and a lot of times women may be uncomfortable with their body or uncomfortable with their self and not necessarily sure what steps to take. So we're going to have Miss Crystal, the owner of K Monet Fitness. She's going to be coming in. She's going to be giving us a ton of tips about, fitness and working out and staying healthy and your nutrition and just different things to really keep your body in shape.
Which is definitely important.
which is very important. I think that the ladies will benefit by that. Then we have another lady that's coming in, which is the owner of Miss Nance. She's the owner of Heal a Woman, Heal a Nation.
Okay.
I mean, just in that sentence alone is so powerful. Heal a woman, heal a nation. And so many of our women are, you know, are going through different things that they need healing, different areas that they need healing in. So she's going to be joining us tonight. Then we also going to have a life coach, Inspiring You life coach. She's going to be calling in pretty soon.
I'm about to stay now. I'm about to go ahead and stay.
With you, ladies, if you really need help or you would love to hear what we're talking about or calling, this is definitely the show for you to do that tonight. The Inspiring You life coach, Miss Thelma Smith, is going to be sharing tons of information about goals and, you know, different things you can do mentally and spiritually to set yourself up for success. So with those people that's coming in tonight, I mean, we have a full-fledged panel.
Yeah, you do. So definitely I'm glad that you guys are kicking me out, because it's like, you're going to need all this space. I ain't trying to get in y'all way.
You know, who run the world? Girls. Who run the world?
Right to
girls,
sleep when you
girls.
just
Who
now.
run the world? Girls, girls. Hey, so tonight's show is gonna be it's gonna be great. I'm like super excited about having all of our guests.
I'm excited to listen. I'm definitely excited to listen to see exactly, you know, what everybody's talking about and what everybody's gonna bring to the table tonight. So I think you're probably gonna go in. I think you're definitely gonna go in, because I'm pretty sure that you set it up where it's nothing left. It's nothing left like empty or anything like that. So yeah, you're gonna bring it to the forefront. So definitely, hopefully everybody tune in. I'm definitely gonna tune in once I depart and you guys kick me out in a little bit.
Yeah, in a little bit.
But while we're here and while I'm here, I figured that what we do is to kick off Girl Talk is to throw a little bit inspiration from the guys. So what I did was, I actually, since I said I was going to be here with you for like about, 30 minutes before the actual show kick off. This is like the pre-show. I like this, the little pre-show before the guests come in.
Oh, Lord, what's going on with the pre-show?
This the pre-show. So basically what I did was, I went and I did some research. I asked some of our listeners. We actually got a call. Like surprisingly, we got a call.
Okay, we have a call. Hold on one second. WPB Radio. Oh, you had some questions for Crystal tonight? Oh, if you want to listen, what you want to do, if you're like calling from a cell phone, you can go to like your Play Store, your App Store, and download the app. That's very good. You can download the app. Just go to WPB Radio, or you can tune in online at WPBradio.com. Okay, thank you.
Oh, that was fun. I love it. I love it when people call in. So what I did was I talked to some of our guy listeners and some people that I know, and then some people that other people know. And when I knew the show was coming up, I got together some questions that men have always wanted to ask females. So when
should I be scared?
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't think you should necessarily be scared. It should be interesting, but I just want you to say right now, you're going to answer honestly.
Absolutely.
Honestly. And you're speaking for a majority of all females, but I know that you're not just speaking for, everybody, but I say majority of them.
This is only my opinion.
This is only your opinion.
I don't have my ladies in here with me yet. The panel is on their way, so I don't know. I don't want you to beat me up too bad. What kind of questions we have here?
All right, so let's start off with first. I start off very simple. Why do women go to the bathroom in groups?
Okay. Now, a lot of times women are going to the bathroom in groups if they may be out in public, and that's because they're either in a conversation, finishing a conversation, or about to start a conversation. So that's normally when you'll have women going to or if they've been an unfamiliar, venue. They may say, hey, walk to the restroom with me. Okay. A lot of times they gotta, freshen up. They're fixing their lipstick or lip gloss or, something like that.
So you need that support to go to the bathroom.
I won't You asked me why.
Well, I mean, I'm serious. Like, you don't see guys being like, yo, let's go to the bathroom.
I mean, that's because all of y'all stalls is open, number one.
Well, that's true, too.
So that's probably why, like, guys not saying, oh, yo, come on with me in the bathroom. Whereas though the ladies still have some privacy, and even when they're in there, they still may be talking to each other.
Okay. All right. So I'll let you go. I'll let you go with that one.
So did I pass?
Yes, but we're going to keep going. Why do you wear such provocative clothing but complain about creepy people checking you out?
Now, that's a good question, and that might not be a good question for me because I don't
Remember that. I'm going to give you these questions so you can ask the panelists,
I
okay?
sure will.
And I'm going to circle the ones that I need you to ask so they can answer, okay?
I sure will. See,
right.
this is the thing. I don't necessarily wear provocative clothes, okay?
Okay.
So I would say the thing about it is when women do that, or even girls do that, is a sign sometimes of low self-esteem.
Okay. I've heard that before.
Some people are getting attention, but they're attracting it the wrong way.
Okay.
And then they're upset about the type of attention that they are receiving once they're wearing these provocative clothes.
Exactly.
And then some just feel like, hey, I look sexy in it. I look cute. I got a nice body, so I want to share it off. Show it off. So it could be, it is not necessarily the best thing to do. But if you took a survey, I would tell you 9 times out of 10, those women have really, really low self-esteem.
Okay.
Did I pass?
Right. Yes. I definitely give you that.
Come on, we 2 for 2, ladies.
All right. When should men give up on chasing females?
Okay. Well, if he really has that desire, then I would say continue to chase. Now, I would say stop chasing. Number 1, if they're in a relationship. Number 2, if they just totally not interested.
Makes sense.
If that person, say numerous times, like, leave me alone, I'm not interested.
But some women don't actually say that. Some women don't actually speak, like, actually be vocal and say, exactly what they're feeling. Like, no, I'm not feeling that, no, I'm not really looking for something as of right now. So it's kind of like, how would I know if that's the case?
A lot of times you'll get that vibe though. Energy doesn't lie, so you'll get.
But men can be lost at times.
That's.
I know that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'll give you that.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. A guy should stop chasing. Number 1, if he's, and I guess it's gonna be devil advocate because sometimes you'll say, well, if no means yes and yes means no.
Exactly.
But I guess I would say, if she's real stern about her no and she's consistent with that, that's number 1.
Okay.
Of course, if they're in a relationship, they blatantly telling you they're in a relationship, it's really time to back up. Or you have some woman that's just got out of a relationship that needs space, or needs some type of healing, and it's like just give them that time. It's not a good time to go after a woman right after a breakup, right after a loss, right after anything that she's extremely vulnerable in, Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay.
Did I pass?
I give you that one.
Come on now, 3 for 3. Let's go.
When women look at men a bunch of times when they're out, but never when men look back, what does that mean exactly? So basically, you're out in the club and you're checking this guy out. Like, the females are checking these guys out left and right, looking. But then soon as the guy turn around and try to check her out, you don't look. What does that mean exactly? Because
the guy is supposed to chase. No,
it's a different society.
No, it is a different society. You're asking me, so I'm only one opinion.
Right.
I'm not
That's the question that you need to ask.
Throwing myself on men, and needing that type of attention where some women are. And so the thing is, they still want, at the end of the day, a man to be a man to come over and approach. It's something good for a woman when a man actually do that. You know what I'm saying? So if she's checking him out, he's checking her out, she want to see, okay, now man up. You want to come over here or not?
Okay, so this goes into my next question. Can it ever be a situation where the women take charge in a relationship? Since you said that.
Lord Jesus. Take charge as far as just...
anything. Like,
I am not for a woman walking over, running a relationship,
Really?
Keep the skirt on, yes.
See, and I disagree with that. I disagree with that in certain
This is the thing. I just had
predicaments.
I had a conversation about this recently.
Okay.
Now, it's one thing when there's the strengths and weaknesses. So where one, where the guy is stronger and the lady is, weaker, and they can balance each other out and vice versa. So in that sort, yeah, the woman may be taking, I guess, charge or lead on certain stuff because that might be her strength.
Okay.
But as far as like overall of the relationship, that's still the guy is the aggressor. The guy should be the one that is kind of leading. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay, and I disagree with that a little bit. I think with today's society, I think depending on what type of guy you approach, I do feel like in certain areas it is good. Definitely, if you're talking about maybe like sometimes bedroom wise, then yes, in certain areas I do feel like you should take charge.
Now we're talking. So you didn't say that.
Household. I'm talking all areas, Baker. All areas.
Of course, in that area, yeah, you want the woman to get aggressive sometimes. The man shouldn't always lead. He should feel that same energy.
But you mean just like on an everyday basis, it's certain things that basically a man
should lead.
Should lead.
He should be the one leading.
Okay.
I totally think that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And that's just my opinion. So did I pass?
Slightly, but no, that was your opinion, so I ain't gonna give you that one.
Oh man.
So all right, so we're about to get into some juicy ones. Okay. Be honest. The first one. Do women stare at men's private areas like men stare at your breasts?
Absolutely not. Why didn't you say breasts? What about that? I think
breasts, but I mean pretty much it depends on the person.
No.
It depends on the person.
At an approach or, at first sight, a woman is not looking in that area like a guy is.
But remember, you just got finished saying that some women are more promiscuous than others.
You actually said that, but that is true. that is definitely true. I don't know. I wouldn't say that. Women is not looking at that. Women is looking at, maybe his looks, what he have on, is he speaking well, how does he smell, those type of things versus just going right to looking at certain areas. But I will ask that to my panel tonight.
Okay, good one. So, do girls like private pictures sent to them, and does these pictures turn women on?
Oh my gosh, you going all the way in.
Yes, I'm asking questions that people told me that they wanted that guys wanted to ask.
I should have went on and got your question.
I told you
right now. I'm gonna say no, because a woman with class and a woman that's really confident about herself and her relationship, she is not going to be sending those type of pictures.
Okay.
So therefore, she's not going to want to receive those type of pictures.
Okay.
So you gonna give me that one?
Yeah, I'll give you that one. That makes sense.
You.
That definitely does. Nice guys or bad boys mostly.
Okay. Women want nice guys.
Okay. I get that.
The bad part of the guy, I think, is what's more attracting, because again, I think a woman wants someone to be aggressive, like to take the lead, to be the man. So in this particular scenario, I'm gonna say they like bad guys, but they need good guys.
So you want me to be a good guy, but have some type of bad tendencies?
You have to be able to balance it out.
As I guess point to.
Okay. So we get
That's confusing. That is so confusing.
How is it confusing?
Because at the end of the day, if I was raised right, and basically I was raised to respect the female, respect them and take them out with class and do whatever, but you still want me to have that little gotta have a roughneck type edge.
Well, that's what you're gonna want in a woman.
I don't know, who says I want a roughneck?
At certain times in your relationship,
would you want a woman with class, but she has a roughneck side? He shakes his head no.
What in the world? So then what were we just talking about, how you would want a woman to lead?
Right. You're talking about in that sense, in like the bedroom sense.
Yes.
Oh. Well, that's different. Well, I don't know about a roughneck side in the bedroom.
Well, you use the word roughneck, okay? Stop changing my words around. I'm taking that point, thank you.
All right, do women like abs, arms, or butts more? Because you do have some women that like butts.
Abs, but abs and the arms probably go hand in hand.
Okay.
A lot of times you're gonna see a man's arms before you actually see his abs. you know, unless it's the summer at the gym, taking a jog, you know, something like that. Other than that, you're going to see a guy's arms first, you know, and really be able to tell his build.
Okay, which
we have a caller. I think we have our caller calling in.
Okay, good. I can throw them in the mix too.
Oh no, she's gonna get him. Hi, WPB Radio.
Hi, this is
Hi, Thelma Smith. we were actually, you called in right on time. We were in the middle of some questions, but we want you to tell us about who you are and, you know, how people can reach you. And let everybody know that we're going to have a life coach on with us tonight. Tonight's topic is Girls Talk. So what can you tell us?
Our goal is to help you to embrace yourself, to find out who you are, understand others, and definitely to increase your knowledge of people through your personality. And girls, I just want to share with you, it's so important to know who you really are. You know, we know we feel dressed on what people can see, and we look a certain way, we talk a certain way, but really, who is the real you? You know, the you that you are when nobody's around. And what I want to do with the young girls nowadays is really help you take a look at knowing who you are and how you're designed. You know how sometimes guys may get on your nerves, and you have any kids, they get on your nerves. We don't even really realize why, because we don't have a clear picture of who we are. We don't really know. We know we're going to go someplace, but we're not really sure. And one other thing that's very important is we need to know what's our greatest gift, what's our weakest link, and how we use these things, our gifts and our talents, how we put those things to work so we can create our own destiny. I mean, wouldn't it be awesome? Like right now, I can get paid when I want to get paid, and I'm using my gifts that I love to do. Wow. You probably already guessed it. I love to talk. And listen, I can figure out, I can say how much money I want when I go in a company when I want to get paid. So I'm saying, if you really discover your personality gift and how you design and what makes you tick and what turns you off, let me tell you, and you know what your greatest gift is, you can sit down and say, hey, you know what? I know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm going to create that job. If it's not a job, it's simply your service, and you can get paid just what you want. So that's what we're here, that's what Inspiring You is all about, helping you to discover who you are, the gifts that you have, and how to get in touch with those things to cause you to be the greatest you that you can ever be.
That is awesome. How can people get in contact with you?
Well, first thing, I was just thinking, especially with the young girls that are trying to get each other together, spring is coming, and you want to get the ideas of what you want to do, I'm going to have a purpose party, a personality party in April. And I have my email address is purpose, P-U-R-C-O-S-E, lady, L-A-D-Y, number 2, at AOL.com. Now, I also have, I'm going to give you my number. My cell number is 401, I'm sorry, 410-303-5151. And I want you to email me to tell me if you're interested in being able to come to the personality party. Because I want you to take the personality profile so you can figure out exactly what your personality is, what kinds of gifts you have, how you can use those gifts to create the destiny that you want, the business that you want to create. So we're going to do that in April, and kind of wait to find out how many people are interested so I'll know what size room I want to get. So please don't wait to contact me. Email me right away.
Okay, so if they do email you about the purpose party, what are some things that they can expect once they come to your party?
Oh, wonderful question. They can expect first we're going to do We're going to take time to figure out just what everybody's personality is. We're going to have a full-fledged personality profile that I've designed. It's done professionally. When you leave, you know exactly what your personality is. You will also know exactly what your greatest gifts are, what your weakest links are. You're going to understand what your talents are, how we can take those things and just create businesses and services. And we're going to also learn how to take a look at our relationships. Some of you guys girls might be in some relationships that really, it's just not working for you. And you know what? If you got the wrong personality mixed together, it ain't going to ever work. So we're going to talk about relationships, talk about who you are. I'm going to teach you to be able to immediately figure out what other people's personalities are. So the moment you see them, you're going to go, hey, that's her personality. And this is what I need to do to get what I want from them because I know what their personality is. We're going to have fun, too.
That's excellent. Let me ask you this. If there's somebody that's really interested that's not able to come out to the purpose party, do you do any, I guess, one-on-one coaching or some other kind of way that they can, get started?
Yes, I do. They can give me a call and I can set up a one-on-one session and we'll get together and if you need purpose or personality, I will do whichever one you need. So absolutely, I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, but I will be glad to help them on their one-on-one coaching, discovering just who they are and what they're all about.
Okay, I have one more question for you. What's the, I guess, most common factor that you see when you're helping people with their purposes?
The biggest thing I find with purposes, people really don't have a clue of why they are here. And when you don't know why you're here, you can't understand what it is you should be about. So I don't know, why I've been, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? If you can't get that question answered, we go from place to place to place. And I know a lot of girls have parents and friends, and they know people who have been working for years, and they're not happy. That some of them are sickly, they're changing jobs. That's because they have never discovered. I talk to people all the time, even people 50, 60 years old, that have not understood who they are and what it is they should be about. But when you know that, you can't wait. I could not wait for this call to come. I'm so excited because I'm feeling about who I am and what I should be giving. I should be giving this gift to other people, and so should they. And that's the biggest thing. People have no clue as to, that they know their dreams, but they don't know who they are and how that should connect.
Right. And so with the one of the exercises that you have them doing with the personalities is one that's going to help connect. Is there anything spiritually that's connected with the purpose as well?
Absolutely. With the purpose and personality, first we take a look at who did design you. We know the person who has designed you. We know that it's the Almighty God. His hands have created you to be who you are. And we'll break that down so you can look at why you do some of the things that you do. With personality, you are gifted in so many areas. Some of them, you don't even realize that you're gifted in that. So when we look at what you came into this world with, and all we need to do is to identify it, and we look to just what goes with who you are. So we know that scripturally, and we do have that as well, that scripturally we're already told that you're wonderfully made. We're already told that you've been given at least one or more gifts. So we touch base on all of those things so that when they walk away, they have a sense of not just who they are, but also have a sense of this is how I've been created. That's why I'm the I am.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing that information. Can you tell everybody how they can get in contact with you again?
Yes, please. You can email me at purposelady2@aol.com, and that's PURPOSE, lady, L-A-D-Y, number 2@aol.com, and you can call me at 410-303-5151. And you can let me know if you want to get an appointment, a one-on-one coaching, or if you're interested in our personality party that's going to be coming up next month.
Okay. Thanks again. We appreciate everything.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Wow, you starting strong already. I got two final questions for you before I leave.
Okay.
Can I go?
You can go.
I can go real quick. Okay. All right, so my final one. That was some good information.
And then you're going to take a break.
Yes, please. We definitely got to. But that was some good information.
That was some very, very
She
good
sounds so
information.
excited. Now, I would just want to work with her just because she's excited.
Yes.
Like.
With Dalma Smith helping people with their purposes. And she's so right. There's so many people that you come in contact with that really do not know what they're supposed to be doing.
Yes,
so
that's true.
So a lot of times they're running in circles. They're unhappy in their job and, you know, relationships.
Even on the you know, the male tip, there's a lot of guys in the same predicament too. That's true. That's absolutely true.
That's good information.
Yes.
That's available to our listeners. So make sure you're getting in contact with Miss Dalma Smith with Inspiring You. What's these other two questions?
So my last two. I'm gonna go in, and I know I'm gonna end with that one because I definitely want to hear what you
don't drop the mic tonight.
I'm gonna drop the headphones as soon as I ask because I don't even want to get an answer.
All right, so I'm 3 for 4.
All right, yes, you are. What is the most offensive thing a guy can do to a woman on the first couple of dates? Or the first date or the first couple of dates? What is the most offensive thing a guy can do to a woman on the first date or couple of dates?
That he can do, because I mean a lot of times it could be something that he say that really turn you up. I would say, you know, if he's like vulgar, disrespectful, you know, things of those types of things, that will turn a woman off, and that would be like offensive because you wouldn't want to go any further if he don't you know, speak out his mouth. If he does something like try to slap your butt or
that's the bad word that y'all like.
That's what you're not gonna do.
That's the bad side that you like.
That is what you're not gonna do. That you're not gonna do. That could come down the line. You said in the first couple of dates.
Yeah, the first couple of dates.
Okay.
Hey, that's the 48 shades, not 50.
So do I get that one?
I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
I would give you
this
that
last one out.
All right, so this last one, and I'm about to drop the headphones. Does size really matter?
Why would you ask me that on air?
Four people asked, and I was like, I don't know.
You know
I said it's gonna be women here. I will ask.
You wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask the whole panel that. But you know what? Okay. Next time, I need your questions in advance.
I asked you. I asked you.
I didn't know you
go
was
on record. I asked you. I said, do you want to take? I'm telling you, you really want to look at these questions.
I didn't have time, but you know what?
Really
next time, I got you. And when I come back for guy talk,
please throw it out there.
I'm serious.
Throw it out there because at the end of the day, like, you know, I mean, guys, this is stuff that guys think of. This is stuff.
This is my
guys think of this
okay.
stuff.
This is my answer. Okay. It absolutely does.
Okay, and we take a break from that, though.
Okay, here we go.
I say goodnight. Smack us out. Have a good show.
Thank you. Welcome back. We are back with the Styyle Chronicles radio show. I have a full house in here tonight. Some really, really lovely women in the building. Some experts in what they do that's going to be sharing a lot of information with our listeners. So ladies, get ready for Girls Talk tonight. First up, we have Miss Kristen Young. How you doing, Miss Kristen?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much, Danielle.
We're so happy to have you here tonight. Now, if you could tell us, you know, what you name your business and exactly what it is that you do.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Kristen Young, the marriage enthusiast, and my business is Living the Vows. So we are all about bringing joy to marriages. We focus on reaching out to soon-weds who are singles who have a desire to be married one day and want to get it right the first time around. And then we also work with newlyweds through the first 5 years to help them transition and really get the tools that they need and get the mentality that they need to go hard in that marriage and truly enjoy every minute of it.
Awesome. Next up, who else do we have in the building?
Hello, my name is Sade. The name of my company is Faces by Sade Renee. I am a makeup artist, and I enhance beauty one face at a time.
All right, Miss Sade is in the building. And next up, we have...
Well, hello. Monarchia Nance here, brand name Nathan, Executive Director of Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation, where women leaders across the globe unite.
Awesome. Welcome. And actually, welcome back for you because I know you've been on the Styyle Chronicles before. And last but certainly not least...
Hello everyone, my name is Crystal Beverly and I'm here to discuss health and wellness. The founder of K Monet Fitness brought to me to give to you guys with a mission, personal mission to inspire and empower women to conquer their bodies through fitness.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So all of our listeners, one, based on our panel, again, if you have questions, you want to give us a call at 1-888-400-5574. Again, that's 1-888-400-5574 if you have any questions for our panelists tonight. So, Ms. Christian,
Yes,
we got to have you first because I feel like with relationships nowadays and things that's going on in marriages and everything, you know, our listeners really, really need to hear from you. What are some things that you find common with women that are looking to date?
Common as far as
Like some of the common denominators as far as like problems they may face, like, you know, a lot of women feel like there's not enough good men out here, or not sure exactly where, you know, the good guys are. Like, what would you say for that?
Well, to be completely honest, I always say you got to do an internal check. If you're finding that you're constantly running into, which we hear a lot, you know, we don't see a lot of good men out there, and we don't know where to find them. And a lot of times we have to recognize that oftentimes if we are attracting the wrong kind of guy over and over and over again, you have to check the common denominator, which is yourself.
Okay, so is there anything that you would tell when you say, you know, check within yourself, what would that consist of?
One of the things that I always talk about is how from birth we're just naturally selfish people. You know, we're born into this world, we want what we want when we want it, and that's a natural state as an infant. As we continue to grow older, the goal is to let go of some of that selfishness so that we can learn who we are and learn how we can serve others. So I always talk about be self, no ish. And that ish is your internal sorry habits. So those things that we've developed from childhood that we haven't quite let go of, and learning how to let go of those internal habits, those sorry habits that help us that keep us in that selfish mentality and keep us focused on what we want, how we want it, and not giving enough input into how we can look into serving other people and how we can continue to grow and mature.
Very, very good information. So people that's looking to get in a relationship, the first thing you're saying is you need to do an internal check and really check on yourself before you try to get into a relationship.
Absolutely, because you have to know exactly what it is that you want. And ideally, you know, for women, we have to recognize that we are supposed to be found, so we're not out there hunting. But when you do have someone who wants to approach you, you have to be able to attract the things that you want to attract. So you have to put yourself in that position to be in the environment, be around the type of person that you want to connect with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now as far as the marriage and you know, your business as well, what exactly do you do with married couples? And is it more so you work with the woman, or you work with both of them together?
I work with whoever's willing.
Okay.
And one of the things that is important for people to recognize that even though people may desire marriage coaching, you have to recognize that it only takes one person to change. So it is very possible to have a successful marriage coaching session with only one person coming to the sessions or being a part of the session.
Wow.
Absolutely. But ideally, if you can have both there, that's always a plus. But, you know, recognize that you can make a shift in your marriage simply by making yourself more aware of some of the things that may be going on and how you as an individual can make a shift, even if it's not necessarily your fault. You know, making certain shifts in yourself and how you respond as opposed to react in scenarios that will ultimately cause the other person to make a shift as well.
Okay. One of the questions that I had from a listener when it comes to marriage was exactly how do you keep, I guess, the fire burning in a marriage relationship? Because once you get past that dating stage and you're married for almost 10 years, you know, you get so comfortable with one another. You're not necessarily dating anymore. What is something that they could, you know, do to kind of spark back up in their, you know, marriage or their relationship to, you know, keep everything going and consistent better?
Well, one of the things you just said is one of the challenges in marriages. They're not dating anymore. It's so important for us to recognize that just because you're married you have to continue to excite one another. You have to continue to find those things. And, you know, we often hear, do the things that you did to get her and to keep her. But we have to really truly recognize we're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving. Just because you now have the same name and you live in the same household and see each other on a daily basis, there are still a lot of things that you don't know about each other that are happening while you're away. So you have to have that consistent time where you're coming together to connect, not talking about the bills, not talking about the kids, but talking about each other, what excites you as an individual, where you're shifting, where you're growing. So have those regular date nights. Continue to find those things, and honestly, you have to be confident in yourself and continue to be aware of who you are as an individual so that you can serve your partner. Because you have to be flexible, especially when it comes to a marriage. You have to be flexible mentally, physically, sexually. You know, all of that is very, very important. You have to be completely open and willing to serve your spouse, no matter what it is, whether it means cooking and cleaning, whether it means sexually, whether it means, you know, just being a support. That constant support is such a turn on for so many people, and men included. They want to know that their woman has their back. They want to know that when he comes home with a new idea, she's not just blowing him off. That kind of stuff is considered foreplay throughout the day. So we have to constantly check in and see, how can I support my spouse? How can I, you know, continue to show that love, know their love language, and in order to serve them.
That I just actually learned all about love languages last year, and it blessed my life so much. Though I'm serious, it really did. One more question for you before I go on. What would be a benefit? I mean, you hear about a lot of different coaches out here in different industries. What would be a benefit for someone to get a marriage coach?
It's really important for us to recognize where we are as individuals, and a lot of times, you know, just like when you have that girlfriend that you get ride or die hardcore girlfriend that can tell you straight up where you're trifling, where you're going wrong. You know, it's the same type of mentality. You want someone from the outside that can support you and help you recognize where you are and where you want to be, and then give you some tools that you can't always see from the inside. Give you some tools and a roadmap to help you figure it out along the way. So it's really just about having that opportunity to say, hey, this is where we are. This is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is where I want to go, and having an outsider say, hey, look at some of these opportunities, so that you can come together as a couple and say, these are the decisions we want to make together.
Now, based on what the conversation may be, if you're working with someone one-on-one, do you recommend that, you know, the spouse come in with them based on what the situation is, or you just solely, if it's just that one person, work with them?
It's a case by case. I mean, ideally, I would always like to have some opportunity to work with the couple together, but even when they do come together, it's important to have those individual sessions, because depending on what's going on, there are some things that you do need to talk one-on-one to clarify in order to bring them back together.
Excellent. Yay. We'll be coming back to you.
All right. All right.
Miss Sade, how are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. So I'm great. I'm really excited about having you here. One of the things we put out there was you are a self-taught makeup artist. And I felt like it was important to have you here because there's so many different women that either are afraid of makeup, feel like, well, how do I pick out the right makeup? What is going to be something that's, you know, good for me? What do you think as far as becoming a self-taught makeup artist? What made you, because I know at one time I don't think you were, you know, into makeup like that. What made you say, you know what, let me just start wearing makeup, and, you know, what has it done for you so far?
Well, when I started makeup, it was just due to a bad eyebrow art job that I had, or experience that I had at a nail shop. So I couldn't go to work with these, like, my eyebrow was completely gone. So I looked at YouTube.
Wow.
And I looked at a couple of videos in regards to filling in my eyebrows, and it just went from there.
Wow. And you know what, that's real. Because I mean, even some people have those experiences, but some people think they're doing their brows good too. Some of these brows you see out here today, you like, what is going on?
Yes, because I mean, I'm guilty of that too. So when you go back and look at other pictures from where you initially started, and I'm like, what was I thinking? And then now it's like, you can learn from my mistakes. So I always tell people to practice in the home, but do not wear it outside until you have it together.
Okay.
So practice makes perfect.
Okay, good. Now, as far as, is there a 1, 2, 3 step process that a woman can do just to kind of introduce herself to makeup on a daily basis or every other day or something like that?
On an everyday basis, like the 1, 2 process, I would say I pretty much just stick with a BB cream, which is a tinted moisturizer, which is very simple for beginners. It does conceal. It's very light, so you don't look, it's not the cake face look.
Okay.
I do say that eyebrows, they frame the face. So I definitely would say to put on a brow.
Okay.
And then either a lip gloss.
Okay.
It's something very simple, you know.
Okay. So your 2 to 3 step process would consist of having some type of base on your face. If you want to go for a cream or something like that, because that's going to give you, I guess, the concealer piece and foundation, kind of. Something on your lip, whether it's a lipstick or a lip gloss, and then framing the face with the brow.
Yes.
So for somebody that don't know how to do brows, you would say, you know, start with, you know, some YouTube things, or do you have anything available that...
With the brow piece, because I would not fill in the brow. If you, like, don't cut off the brow to draw the brow on.
Okay.
That's a no. If it's there, leave it as is. And then if you do, I would just say take a little bit of shadow just to fill in the sparse spaces, but not to really draw the brow on until you are able to, until your expertise. So not, you know, until you actually get that part, you know, down pat.
Okay. And when women that have, you know, I guess either really sensitive skin, what would you recommend? Would you recommend them going to a dermatologist first before they start to apply makeup? Or is there any safe zones that they could go before starting with the cream base?
Yes. Now, I would definitely recommend going to a dermatologist if you're having skin problems. I do have very sensitive skin, so I typically stick with natural products. Like for toners, I use actually apple cider vinegar. So I don't use, you know, actual the store product. It's something that you're able to get from your home. As far as the cream piece, I always look at the products on it. If it says dermatologist tested, I typically just go with it. But if you really have bad skin problems, I would definitely recommend going to see a dermatologist before dabbing into your foundation.
Okay. Now, how can you tell a friend? One of our listeners had asked a question about how can you tell one of your girlfriends that she's wearing too much makeup, but really still keeping it, I guess, sensitive enough to communicate it to your friend? How can you let them know if they're just piling too much makeup on? What would you recommend?
You know, you face that every day. Or if it's wrong and you don't really want to say anything, typically I'll show them a picture of what it looks like and what it's supposed to look like versus what they have on.
Okay.
So I really don't like to offer my opinion unless I'm asked for it. But it is a sensitive subject, so I really don't know.
Basically, you probably would have to really know your friend.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
Yeah, if I know you, it's not right. So, you know, let's fix it because it's not right. But if I don't know you, it's probably, you know, I just leave well enough alone.
Gotcha. Now, do you feel like all shades of lipsticks and all shades of eyeshadows can go on any skin tone?
I do, actually. Now, with the lipsticks, I definitely will recommend using a lip liner, depending upon your skin tone. But I do believe that any lipstick can be worn on any shade.
Okay.
As far as eyeshadow, eyeshadow is really the same way. It's just that certain colors brings out your eye color better depending on the shadow. Like brown eyes, it would be better with a green eyeshadow. Green eyes looks better with a purple eyeshadow. So it just really depends.
Nice. I didn't even know that.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Really good. Now, is there any other ways that you would say as a basic two-step process to enhance the face, whether it has to do with, you know, blushes or going to mascaras or something like that, just to kind of give a slight enhance?
What I would recommend to enhance the face is using a, believe it or not, it's an orange concealer, but for if you're not able to get your hands on an orange concealer, you can use an orange lipstick. So what the orange lipstick does, it basically takes out the purple or dark tones and any dark spots on your face. So you would just blot the orange lipstick on any dark spots and just pat it into your skin, and it will get rid of any of the like dark under eye circles or, you know, dark acne spots, and make you have a, you know, a cleaner look. So
with patting it in the skin though, are you able to do that without going to another step with concealer and foundation?
Yes.
Really?
So if you use a moisturizer like any lotion, and once you have it on your face, I would say let it sit maybe about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you would take the orange lipstick and apply it to any affected area, and then just blot with your fingers. Your fingers are your best tool, so just take it and just blot and pat, and it'll even you out.
Well, thank you. Give us, someone's trying to contact you, and I gotta go back to Miss Christian. Give us your contact information for those who are looking to either get their makeup done, have some additional questions for you, or something of that nature. How can they get in contact with you?
All right, so business inquiries, you can contact me at facesbySadeRenee@gmail.com. Or you can go to my Instagram, and that's also facesbySadeRenee, _ between Sade and Renee.
Awesome, nice. And we got to go back to our relationship marriage coach over here too. If someone is trying to get in contact with you, how can they reach you?
You can reach me all things Living the Vows. So the website is www.livingthevows.com. We're on Facebook, Living the Vows, Twitter @Living the Vows, Instagram, Living the Vows, or you can email me yes, YES, @livingthevows.com.
Awesome. Next up we have Miss Monica Nance, the owner of Heal a Woman, Heal a Nation. How you doing tonight?
I am fine. I'm actually wonderful, and I'm the executive director, because Heal a Woman, Heal a Nation is owned by every woman who chooses to stand up and be great. So
you know what? Wait a minute. Yes! I love it. So tell us more about your business.
So Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation is basically a women's collective. So we have women experts from all over the globe, including our lovely Miss Kristen Young, who are ambassadors and stand for change for women and girls. And what I mean by that is that we have women from all aspects of life, mostly leaders. And what I mean by leaders are CEOs, community leaders, directors, entrepreneurs, business owners. We come together because everyone needs a place to take off their cape. So we wear a lot of masks in our life, but where do you go as the expert? Where do you go when everyone comes to you for all the answers? Where do you go for support? Where do you go for systems? So you go to Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation.
I know. You know, I need to be at the next conference.
Absolutely. April the 10th through the 12th. This year we are celebrating 12 years of service. So we are super excited about that in Pikesville, Maryland.
Awesome. Now tell us, what can somebody expect if they was to come to the conference? What can they expect from the conference?
3 days, action-packed. It's totally, I'm going to say this, I'm going to take 2 steps back. You get whatever you want to get out of it. And what I mean, you get whatever you want out of it. You decide and set your intentions for what you need in your life now and what you need in your life next to be successful, and you come and get it. And I say that because when you come into a room where you have women from all over the world, so we have ambassadors as far as South Korea, we have persons coming to this year's conference from New Mexico, California. I mean, we get women from all over. So when you come and you show up exactly who you are without your mask. And so what I mean is there are a lot of people that own businesses and have no idea how to run a business. But you would never tell someone that you don't know what you're doing. When you come to Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation, you want to tell us that. You want to tell us, sister sitting next to you, that you know what, although I have clients, although I'm making money, although I'm not making money, whatever it is, this is what I need next. And also you want to come to Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation to experience what personal development looks like. You know, a very wise man once said, you're supposed to grow from the cradle to the grave. How many of us stop learning after high school, after college? What have you enrolled yourself in? How else have you have invested in yourself to be the person that you say you are? Not the person you're going to be, the person that you currently say you are. So we talk about branding, we talk about systems, we talk about marketing. I mean, we talk about money. Money's a big topic. We talk about how to keep, save, and grow, protect your money. We talk about assets and liabilities. What does that look like? How do you juggle? How do you multitask? Everyone has this thing about how do you balance? There's no such thing.
Okay. So you know, as far as balancing, as far as what you do, your
Think
kids,
about it.
the
As a woman,
family.
you know, how many hats do you wear a day?
Oh my God. A lot.
How many hats do you wear a day? Sister, mother,
Right.
aunt, you know, radio host, you have your fashion experts, role model. How many hats do you wear in a day? That you're juggling so much, and everyone's like, well, how do I balance my kids and my career and my husband and my love life? It doesn't happen. It's not realistic. What you have to do is prioritize. What you have to do is systemize and figure out how does it all work together cohesively. How do you create a lifestyle?
You know what? I never heard it said like that. That's really good. I never even looked at it that way.
Sometimes your business will take a backseat to your family, and sometimes you will let your family take a backseat to the business for that moment. It doesn't mean that it's forever. It means that right now, baby, you have to cry because mommy has to go to work, and that's okay. It means right now, honey, we can't go on that vacation because currently this, you know, whatever's going on in the business this month takes priority. But everyone say, well, I'm a balance. I'm gonna do it all. No, you can't do it all. Your name is not Superwoman.
Right. Now the X is not on your chest today.
Because what happens is we get into breakdown and meltdown.
And that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly
when depression shows up in that for us a lot of the time. How many women are around a multitude of people every day and still feel alone? No one knows who you really are.
Right.
You're not being able to express yourself for one reason or another because people are going to judge you or because you feel like you have this prestige in life or in community. No, that's all false.
Now, when people come to the conference and they get a chance to, you know, open up, how is it, you know, confidential, or, you know, do you find that people are going outside of there, I guess, you know, talking about one another or something that may have taken place in the conference that could have been private? Do you have, you know, do you see that
come? In 12 years, not one.
Okay,
Kristen,
great.
have you ever had that issue?
No, ma'am.
And I'm asking her because Kristen is one. We don't have that problem here at Heal a Woman to Heal.
Oh, that's her underlying statement.
We don't. I mean, and it truly is. It's just a natural space for safety. It really. As soon as you walk in the room, you just feel safe. You can take the cape off. And we know it's just a known thing. Confidentiality is there. You are truly there to support your sister. There's no haters in the room. There's nobody trying to claw at each other, trying to get over on each other. It is nothing but love. The atmosphere is set for nothing but love and support.
That's really, really good. How many people is normally typically at the conference?
So our conference is broken down into 2 days of education. So where it's sit down as classroom style, you're learning from experts from all over. And then the third day is our Whole Woman Expo, which honors Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation Day. So the first 2 days is 300 women in a room, and the third day we add additional 500. So it's a full weekend.
Wow, that is all the way excellent. So tell us again, when is the conference and how can people get in contact with you?
So our conference is every April. So this year is April 10th through the 12th. 2015 at the Pikesville Doubletree. It is 3 action-packed days of sisterhood, love, intention, and expertise because everyone always shows up in their greatness, and you can find out more information at unlimited15.com. That's unlimited15.com.
Wow, thank you. That was some good information. I'm going to check my schedule for the town. So Miss Crystal. Hello. So we have Miss Crystal here with K Monet Fitness.
Yes.
Tell us exactly what it is that you do.
Well, I'm a certified personal trainer. I created K Monet Fitness to inspire, empower, and encourage women to conquer their bodies. And the way it began is it actually began after I had my first son back in 2012. I weighed 240 pounds, which was my personal heaviest I've ever weighed. I began like around 170, 180, technically like around 180. So I gained 60 pounds through pregnancy. Afterwards, I felt horrible. I felt miserable. Looking in the mirror, I did not recognize who I was. I went through symptoms of postpartum depression, loss of sex drive. I didn't feel sexy. I didn't feel myself. I was not confident. It's like the person that I looked back at in the mirror, I did not recognize her. So my boyfriend, tell you a little bit about my story, my boyfriend encouraged me to start working out. He's like, baby, I'll take Kaden. go do what you have to do, and I'm very thankful for that. We'll get up in the morning, we'll go running, he'll push me, and at the time I'm like, oh, this is torture, but he was really helping me because I would sit there and cry about it and sob about it, and you know, you don't get results that way. So what I did, and then also too, I want to add my sister into this. I'm very thankful for her because one of the things that you need when trying to start your weight loss journey is you need accountability, and that took me a really long way. She was there with me to gain the weight. We literally, through pregnancy, we had fat girl nights. And we had fat girl nights. We love to eat. I love food, and I never had the healthiest relationship with food. I didn't care too much about watching my carb intake, watching my sugar intake, anything like that. We just ate and we had a great time. So she gained the weight with me while I was pregnant.
Wow.
Yes, and she lost the weight. When I said, okay, sis, it's time to lose this weight, she's like, look, I'm with you. So what we did is we cut salt and sugar from our diet completely. We made it our personal business to make sure that we were exercising at least 4 or 5 times a week. Accountability goes a long way in the sense where I'll say, hey, send me a picture of your food. What are you eating right now? Send me a picture of how many, did you run a mile today? Send me a picture of that. Send me a picture of you sweating. You know, but those are the things that kept us, you know, on track, you know. So I created K-Monet Fitness because within my journey, I started roughly 6 months after my son was born. I've lost 96 pounds. And it was through self-educating. Self-education. I would go online, what should I eat, what should I not eat? And it is a struggle. I did have my days where I didn't want to exercise, where I didn't want to get out of bed, where I wanted to stuff my face, because what I had to do was I had to get in contact with my inner self to realize, why did I even have this bad relationship with food to begin with? And when I really sat down and looked at why I ate so much food and why I didn't eat healthy, is because I realized at a young age there were things that was my coping mechanism. There were things that I went through at a young age. And instead of really dealing with some things, I ate. You know, and I had to understand that, get in contact with that, and that way I can now move forward and make sure I don't make those same decisions again.
Gotcha.
So that's how it began, and from there it took off. Because once you start seeing results, then that's your drive right there to keep pushing forward.
Right. So let me ask you this. Well, one thing that encouraged me, like, I'm so proud to say I have started my personal training sessions with you over the last couple of months.
Amazing job.
And I'm already, you know, getting this weight down where I need it to be, but I have a lot of work to do. But one of the things that really encouraged me about even contacting you, you was referred to me by somebody. And then one of the reasons why I really contacted you, because, you know, once you put up a lot of pictures, you know, and a lot of times when you seeing that you see it firsthand, and then the messages that you will put with it is like, okay, if she can do this, I know I can do it. And then the timing of your results. So, you know, sometimes people put up a picture and they say, okay, well, I done lost 50 pounds in 3 years. It's like, okay, yeah, not encouraging me at all, you know. But for you to lose 96 pounds in that short period of time, like, it was like, okay, I know that you had to be dedicated. And a lot of times when it comes to leaders, you have to look at their discipline and the things that they're doing with their self before you say, okay, yeah, I want to, you know, try to do what you're doing. Because everybody, their, you know, leadership, their personal coaching, sometimes people are just doing it to do it, you know, and they're not necessarily in it for the person and trying to help them win. So that was something that kind of opened up my eyes and encouraged me to be like, you know what, let me go ahead and because I gotta get this thing right. And I had got, you know, referred different people, but it was just something that really, really stuck out with
so
yours.
Roughly it took me about 1.5 years to drop the 96 pounds. So I got down, I started at 240 pounds, I got down to 143, 143. And then I was like, oh, I still don't feel like myself because now I'm just skinny. And, you know, you can really shape your body the way you want to if you have the education and the knowledge behind it of how to do that. So I got down to 143 and I was like, okay, I'm looking too skinny. I've always been on the heavier side with curves and such. And then when I was working out, I was losing weight. I was actually losing on average about 10 pounds a month. And I wasn't I wasn't doing the fat diets like I had done in the past, because before the pregnancy and gaining all the weight, like I said, I averaged around 170 to 80 pounds. If I needed to lose weight, I would always do something quick and easy, some type of fad diet. Maybe I'm starving myself this week, or I'm 500 calories. But those things are also, those things can work temporarily, but they're not meant to, they're not conducive for a healthy lifestyle. And actually what you're doing is a damage in your metabolism, because if your metabolism is slow, that's the slower your progress is going to move. You need to have a higher metabolism. So what I did was, I again did my research. You need to be eating about 5 times a day. You need breakfast, morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, and dinner. Those meals should consist of a portion of protein, roughly around 4 ounces. A carb, a healthy carb though, sweet potato, brown rice, oatmeal, and green veggie. Your meal should consist of that. You should cut the salt out, cut the sugar out. When you're going grocery shopping, you want to stay on the outside parameters of the grocery store, where you walk in and you see all the green veggies and the fruits and things like that.
Never looked at it that way.
Like, in the middle of the grocery stores, where you'll find the chips and the sodas and all the health, all the things with the additives and the preservatives and all the things that you're going to see your belly grow that way.
Right. Okay. How can people get in contact with you if they looking to find out more information, get in contact with you for any type of coaching?
Sure. So you can contact me. I have an Instagram, which is K Monet Fitness. That's KMonetFitness. That's on Instagram. Facebook, my first and last name, Crystal Beverly. Beverly, Beverly. And also too, you can type in K Monet Fitness on Facebook and you should find it there. To contact me via email for any training inquiries, you can contact me at kmonetfitness@gmail.com.
All right, and we're gonna go to a commercial break, but before that, Miss Nance, Sean Mack wants to know, can he come to the conference and some of the boys?
Sunday, we're asking that everyone, actually we make Sunday free, so it's an expo, it's a free expo all day on Sunday, April the 12th. It's in honor of Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation Day, so this is our, I don't know, maybe our 4th year, having our own day, 9/10.
So the guys can come on Sunday?
Yeah, they can come on Sunday. There's going to be lots of vendors, lots of, this year CoverGirl is giving away full merchandise. We usually get about 8 pieces, so it's going to be a great time.
All right, CoverGirl. All right, so we'll be right back with the new Styyle Chronicles Girls Talk for tonight. With the Styyle Chronicles, and tonight's topic is Girl Talk. If you missed the first half of the show, you have already missed a lot of information. We have some great experts in the house with us tonight. We have someone that is a relationship marriage coach. We have a self-taught makeup artist. We have Miss Nance, which is with Heal a Woman, Heal a Nation, which one of the things I learned out of that today is all of those business owners that we have on the line that's always listening in and always having questions about, you know, entrepreneurship and how to balance life. One of the things she said was you have to prioritize. So we're going to be coming back to that topic pretty soon. And we also have Miss Crystal with K Monet Fitness. And she's given her personal testimony, which definitely encourages a lot of us. So you're now joining in with us, and we want you to join the party. So hey, ladies.
Hey.
Yes, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. So I want to get into talking about like the ideal women, like at least 2 or 3 women, your everyday woman, maybe a college student, maybe somebody that you know, has their own business. I'm going to start back with Miss Nance for a second. With the prioritizing, now one of the things that you mentioned I felt was very powerful, because I never really looked at it that way, was, you know, us as women, especially those who are entrepreneurs, you wear so many different hats on a daily basis, and you always want to ask yourself or ask other people, how can you balance that? So the key thing that you said was, you really can't balance. You have to, you know, prioritize and have a system in place. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Absolutely. You have to decide what is important for you right now in this season. So one thing that we do is really, really bad to ourselves is we want to talk about what's going to happen 365 days from now and why you can't do something today. So what is happening right now in this week, in this month, that you can prioritize what to do next? What are your goals and what are your milestones to achieve those goals? And that's how you function. If it does not have a date and a time, you know, it's a whole dream concept. It's only an idea. It's not a mission. It's, you know, it has no real purpose if it does not have a goal and a milestone. What are the milestones? What are you going to do next? If your child needs to be somewhere, what time? What are the systems you can put in play? It does not mean that mommy has to run all around town to do it. So how many of us really schedule ourselves to be successful?
Now, I know some people, you know, one of the things that come up just in conversation is feeling overwhelmed, like, you know, having so many different things to do. And so, of course, scheduling and, you know, putting things in priority order is always good. Is there any best practices? Would you say, hey, take 3 days and start doing it, a day and start, you know, what is a best practice just to get somebody to get started that's not used to doing that?
So figure out what your triggers are and what you need, because every person is different. So for me, I have to have something written down. If it's not written down, if I say I'm going to get to it, no, charge it to my mind, not my heart. Right? So I had to get an app. It's an app that's on my phone. I'll show you guys. It's called Asana. And Asana will allow anyone on my team to put a task on my checklist.
That's
So
nice.
when I can see it, they can put a date to it. And I can see when I'm supposed to do things every day. Because you know how you, in conversation with people, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm like, listen, put it on my checklist, and I'll be able to get to it. So find out what your tools are that you need to be successful. So sometimes we don't want to sit back and figure out, okay, what is the system that I can put in place so that I can really get this stuff done. So also for me, I need someone else. For all my projects, I have to have a project manager. So with Heal Home to Heal Nation, we serve over 200,000+ women everywhere. There's no way possible for me to get to everyone, or for our staff, you know, we run a staff of 4, to get to everyone. So we have a system, and that's where ambassadors come into play, and we write it down so that we can give it to someone. So actually take the time so that if someone else had to be you, were they able to carry it out?
Very good. Like, very well. I'm gonna need that app though before you leave. I'm serious about that. I'm gonna need that app. But that's really good information. So I'm just gonna kind of jump around a little bit with some questions, Miss Christian. Tell us why you started. Like, what made you want to become this relationship marriage coach? Like, what made you want to get into it?
Well, unfortunately for a lot of us, the thing that bugs us the most, the thing that really gets us down, is the thing that pushes us forward. So for me, as I was planning to get married, I had a circle of friends who were married. They were also newlyweds, and I was looking forward, you know, we're looking forward to the wedding day, looking forward to hanging out with your married friends and doing the date nights together and all that type of thing. And as I went through my process in getting married, within my newlywed years, that first year or two, one by one, I started to lose those married friends. One by one, I had 6 different couples within a period of 1 year just tell me that they were calling it quits on their marriage.
Wow.
So, exactly. And for me, as a newlywed, I was like, well, wait a minute. I thought we were all happy couples. I'm joining the marriage club. And from the outside, it appeared that, you know, they were all doing well. And one of them even told me, she said, I couldn't tell you what I was going through because you were preparing for marriage, and I didn't want to, you know,
absolutely,
give you that negativity. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. So as I said, one by one, it was 6 different marriages that fell apart. And so I was kind of like the last man standing. I was like, well, wait a minute, did I really want to jump in this? I'm like, everybody's jumping shit when I just got in here.
Right.
So, you know, and then it was just a whole transition for my husband and I, because as I said, we were newlyweds figuring out the marriage thing. And then I also have all these different girlfriends around me who are going through separation and divorce. And then it's that transition for them back into the single life, where they're talking about they're meeting these different guys, and you know, their ex-husbands have the kids, so they have free weekends, and I'm like, I don't get no free weekends.
Right.
My kids are with me all the time. You know, so it was then, you know, it was that mental warfare. I'm like, okay, you know, it starts to bring challenges within my own marriage.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, we're new, we're trying to develop. And here I have all this temptation around me saying, hey, we're jumping ship from marriage and going back to the dating scene. So for me, one of the things that I recognized is, if we take more time to prepare for marriage, we hear all about the wedding. You go to bridal show after bridal show, you take 18 months to plan for that wedding day. But how much of that time is spent preparing for your marriage? You know, for many people, if you're associated with some type of religious organization, you may have there's a level of premarital class, normally anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks that's in place. But outside of that, if you're not associated with some religious affiliation, there's no requirement by law to have any marriage preparation. You can go to the courthouse, get your marriage certificate within 48 to 72 hours, you can come right back to the courthouse and get married. There's no requirement. But yet, they want to put you through this whole rigmarole to get out of the marriage. They want to make sure you've been separated. They want to make sure you haven't had sex. They want to make sure, you know, all these things are in place once you want to get out. But if you put everybody through that process on the front end, you wouldn't have all these people wanting to get out. You wouldn't have all these people confused and in a daze when it comes to the marriage, because all they're focused on is the wedding day. So we have to get in that mentality to say, this is what I want for my marriage, this is what I want for my future, and is this truly someone that can meet where I'm going to go? You know, and can I support this person where they're going to go? How do our futures align? It's not about the now, it's about what does our long term look like.
Ma'am, you just said, how do our futures align? Excuse you?
Yes.
That was real good.
But you know, but we really have to look at that, and unfortunately there's just so much in the Cinderella wedding day that we don't take that time to sit down and say, you know what, scrap that. I'm not spending $15,000 on this one day. Let's invest this $15,000 in what it is that we want to do after that day.
Right. Now I know, what's his, Farrah Gray, I want to say, had put something out there before, was saying, you know, if, you know, as far as dating to marry, if you don't see that you can marry that person, why date them?
Thank you.
How do you, well, I'm gonna say, how do you feel about it? Like he's saying, like you're wasting your time. You know that this person doesn't have the potential to, you know, to be, you know, your spouse. So why would you continue to date that person? So how you feel about that?
Yes, yes. And unfortunately, that my sisters, that falls on us way more than it falls on the men, because in general, men go through that season where they're strictly just dating, they're just playing around, they're not even thinking about marriage. So a lot of times, you know, when they're in that place, they're okay with just dating around because they're not looking for anything. But unfortunately, more often than not, the women are the ones. We're trained from I have two toddlers, a two-year-old and a 4-year-old. I never intended for this, but they're all about these Disney princesses and these fairy tale weddings and these kitchen sets and playing with dolls. So we train our little girls from early on to think about being a mommy, you know, that wanting to be just like mommy, wanting to get married, wanting to have these princess gowns. What are our boys doing? They're running around flipping off the couches playing G.I. Joe and, you know, beating each other up playing karate and wrestling.
Right.
So, you know, we're not showing our children the same thing, our boys and our girls the same thing. So our girls are growing up with this mentality. So when they start truly dating in high school and college, and we're constantly thinking about, is he the one? Is he the one? Where they're just like, she's just one, you know. So we have to get in that place where we recognize, where are you? So if you're truly dating, if your intention is to marry, if you see the flags, go ahead and shut it down right there. I know it's difficult. I know a lot of times, and unfortunately, again, for the women, we get emotionally involved.
Yeah,
really
definitely.
quickly. So that is also one of the challenges where you fall into the soul ties when you start having sex with them and wanting to believe, if I just hold on, if I just trust and believe, he'll make a change, he'll turn around. And we spend our whole time hoping and praying when the flags are waving all over the place. Just shut it down and move on. Heal, get your tissues, get your girlfriends, heal and move on and pay attention next time.
Got you. Wow. Woohoo! In the building. Okay, Miss Sade, our self-taught makeup artist. What would you, somebody that may not have a lot of money, is there any inexpensive products or way that they can, you know, start to build a box there, you know, on their own, things to carry around in their purse? You know, what would you recommend for that?
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend an inexpensive brand. The best brand would be Black Opal.
Okay.
I would definitely recommend going to your drugstores, looking at Black Opal, Black Radiance. Another one would be Wet n Wild. People have this connotation that
Like the products are cheaper, it might break your face out.
Or that if it's not MAC, it doesn't work,
Mm-hmm.
which is absolutely not correct. Because Black Opal, to me, actually works better than a lot of the MAC products that I've used. Now, typically when you're going to a client, they want to see MAC, unfortunately, and to me it's more of a technique over product. So that's definitely what I believe in, but you can definitely accomplish a full face going into a drugstore. So yeah, I would definitely
I agree with that too, and you know, one thing I learned years ago as far as the MAC versus the Wet n Wild, like the, what was it, the electric eel blue, that is the same exact thing. I forgot the color it is in Wet n Wild, but it's actually the same thing, just repackaged. Like same exact thing. And it's like, wow, you know, because you know, if MAC is not making or, you know, putting together all of their products, other people are buying those products and reusing it as their own name. So I think it's just about the brand. You know, you got MAC, and I'm not knocking MAC at all, because I have MAC products myself, you know. I'm not knocking them at all, but you have rappers rapping about it, singers singing about it, you know, product placement on TV and videos and stuff like that. So it makes people feel like, you know, that's the hot thing, where you don't necessarily have to go for all the expensive products to start, you know.
Yeah, and I also support like small businesses. So people that are on Instagram and they do like maybe handmade cosmetics and things like that. So I definitely believe in supporting small businesses. So I do get a lot of my products from there as well, but that's for me to use on myself, unfortunately.
Before you try to go and use it on a client. And then with the inexpensive products, you saying, you know, just the people that you recommended or companies you recommended, but also don't forget that you can go to your drugstore, you know, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Your drugstore, supermarkets, because down the makeup aisle, 7-Eleven is selling e.l.f. cosmetics now.
Wow.
Pretty much.
That's a aha moment.
Right. Absolutely. And I also believe in Cyber Mondays, if you're trying to build your actual train case. Ulta is having something called 21 Days of Beauty, where you're getting maybe buy one, get one free. Or you purchase a certain amount of products and then you get a certain amount for free. So if you're trying to build your train case, I would definitely say sales is the way to go.
Now, what's the lifeline? Like, what do you recommend if people are, you know, because sometimes products can last you a few years depending on how much you're using it consistently. What are you know, your personal take if you have a product after a certain amount of time, because a lot of makeup not coming with expiration dates on it. So how do you feel about that?
So basically the way that I gauge the expiration date is based on the performance. So if the eyeshadow is a little chalky, I no longer use it. Now for me though, for my personal stash, I probably have makeup that's been in there maybe about 5 or 6 years. Now for my train case, a lot of them do have expiration dates on it, so maybe after about a year or so I will no longer use it. But people also need to know that they can reuse their expired makeup. Like your expired eyeshadow, if it's too chalky, you can drop that shadow in some clear nail polish and turn it to some color polish.
Well,
so,
wait a minute.
Drop
Say that again. You drop the eyeshadow into some clear nail polish to make you some nail polish.
So if you have a gold eyeshadow, it's no longer performing the way you need it to be. You just drop it in that clear polish, and then you got some gold polish.
Well, all right now. Let's go with the gold polish. I'm gonna put homemade now. Let's keep it in the house.
What about mascara? Because sometimes I'm moving too quickly. I don't put the top on fully, so I find
and it dry up.
Yeah.
And is there anything to do about that, or I just need to throw it out?
Unfortunately, with mascara, once it's dry, it's pretty much nothing that you can do to bring it back.
You can't just add water.
No.
Right, can't add water.
Now with maybe like a gel liner, you can drop maybe a tab of alcohol in it, and then that'll bring that back. But as far as mascara, once it's gone, it's gone.
I do the same thing, and I got like 5 or 6 of them sitting on my dresser. And I'm like, you know what? Brand new bottles though, and tubes. So that's really good. So people that's looking to, especially having someone here that's a self-taught makeup artist, that could really encourage a lot of you that is scared of makeup, looking to get into makeup, or feel like you need an inexpensive way to start using the different products. There is a way that you can do it right now. And if you have old products, she gave you her opinion on the lifeline of the products, and then also what you can do to keep it going. I mean, that shadow to that nail polish. I'm telling you, I'm trying that already. I'm already gonna try that. I'm already gonna try that. What would you tell those the guys that are wearing makeup? Like, I mean, see, some guys wear makeup to cover blemishes. It could be as far as they are an actor on television. And the reason why I say that, because there are some guys that, have to go on TV for different stuff, that need to get powdered, that type of thing. And then you have your guys that wear it every day. What do we recommend? Do you feel like that's more so should simply be something for females, or you feel like, if you're crossing over to wear makeup, guys, you should do 1, 2, 3?
I say to each his own. Living your truth.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do, go for it.
Okay.
I really don't have an opinion on it. I know a lot of men use it to actually sharpen up their hairlines now. So, I've seen that a lot. They're even highlighting and contouring. So, I say to each his own.
But go ahead.
Now, what do you use to sharpen up your hairline? Or say if you are cutting your own hair and you go a little too deep and shave a little too much off, what do you use? Do you use like a pencil to kind of color it in?
Well, they're pretty much using Beijing now.
Beijing?
Oh my goodness, the Beijing is landing on pillowcases.
Yeah.
The bleach not helping it. I don't know though. So, Miss Crystal, what do you find common out of a lot of the clients that you're getting for personal coaching? What is those 1 or 2 things that like everybody is coming to you for, that you feel like, okay, I know where you're coming from. I've experienced it, or it's like, oh my gosh, wow, I didn't realize that so many people was having the same challenges.
Usually, I would say 2 things. One is definitely everyone has an issue with eating. And a lot of times you can beast through a workout. Majority of my women, and I train only women.
Hold on 1 second. We have a caller.
Okay.
Caller, if you could call back for us, that caller that just called. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I train women only, unless it's maybe like a boot camp setting, but generally it's the meals, because majority of my women, they can beast through a workout. I do a lot of coaching you while you're working out. I really make you dig deep and really push yourself to your true potential, because you'll often give up in your mind before your body gives out.
You gotta call it back.
Sure.
WPB Radio.
Hi, it's Boo.
Oh, hi, Bootina.
Hey, Booty Collins.
How are you?
Great.
Great. You have some questions for our panelists tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know what you got.
So my question was.
You have to cut your radio down. Or your you have to either cut your radio or your
It's there.
your computer. Okay.
So my question was, what are some of the...
We was stopped you right in between the point that you had.
Okay, take me back. Where were we?
And Mrs. Haran Say Styles, Mr. Terrence Styles is actually the executive producer. He told me to tell Miss Nance hello and everybody that's here today that he did not get a chance to meet you in person. So did he apologize for his absence, but welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
I love Terrence Styles.
Yes, Mr. Terrence. He's so energetic. You need to call in Mr. Terrence and give us some of your energy tonight before 10 o'clock. You got 47, 8, 9 minutes to call in. We still want to hear from you. So back to Crystal. Actually, we're going to take a quick break and come back with some more of the Styyle Chronicles Girls Talk. We hope that you're enjoying everything that you're hearing tonight from all of our experts. Styyle Chronicles. Chronicle tonight is called Girls Talk, and we have so many different people here tonight that's giving out some great information that can help a woman if you're in business, if you're not in business, those who are looking to need some beauty tips, some fashion tips, fitness tips, and or relationship tips. You want to be listening to this show. So the show ends at 10 o'clock. If you have any other questions for our guest tonight, please call 1-888-400-5574. That's 1-888-400-5574. So we have some interesting questions that we actually was left from one of our other hosts, Mr. Sean Mack, that he wanted to get opinions from the women that's on the panel tonight. And these are also questions that came from some of our listeners, so we definitely want to be able to give you feedback. So the first question is, ladies, can a woman take charge in a relationship? Do you think that that's okay, or do you feel like that the guy should be the one taking charge?
I think that the man should definitely take charge, but there are certain, strong points or strong suits or personality traits that are...
You know what? 1 second, we got a caller.
Okay.
WVB Radio, this is the Styyle Chronicles. Hello, hello. Okay, hopefully that caller will come back. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was just saying that it depends, because there are certain things that I may be better at than my spouse, and there are certain things that he's better at. So, for instance, if there's...
No caller is calling back.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Hello, WPB Radio, the Styyle Chronicles.
Hi, this is Pasha.
Hi, Pasha. How are you?
I'm great.
You have some questions for our panel tonight?
I do. I want to be kind of selfish because I think I have 3 questions if you guys don't mind.
Oh, that's fine. We got time. What you got for us?
Okay, so because I am a freelance makeup artist, I have to give myself a shout out, make you blush.
Uh-oh.
I want to speak with the makeup artist first. I wanted to know, what is some of your favorite products that you use for contouring? I know a lot of people are using powder sometimes. They're using cream bases. Some people use foundations and concealers. What do you find best for you and your clients when you're doing contouring?
For me, which works best is a cream base contour, like the Black Opal foundation stick or the LA Girl Pro concealers. If you're familiar with them, they work best for me. Now, typically for like your everyday contour, I would definitely recommend using a powder. But when I'm actually doing someone's face, it's definitely a cream base.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your expertise.
No problem.
I'm gonna go to fashion. For the fitness. I'm very normally open with my illness. I have fibromyalgia, and one of the struggles that I tend to find is that when I'm exercising by myself, I probably would do too little. But then when I'm exercising with others, they don't really understand. and they try to push me a little bit harder than what I can really handle. And I kind of need that fine and in between balance. I go to doctors and they'll sometimes, being really unfamiliar with the exercise piece, to say, do yoga. But yoga doesn't always take off, give myself that midsection, or the legs, losing some of the weight in my legs, where, I can walk a little bit, but I can't really do the running as much as everyone else. Do you have anything that you can recommend, just a daily exercise to keep me fit and moving, not, getting lazy?
Well, you definitely have to know, what works best for you. So it's going to take you going through those trials and errors to see what's going to work for you. So if you know running is not for you, then that's something, that it's going to make something act up, then that's what you stay away from. Have you tried the bike?
I have not.
Okay, so I do think that you should try the bike. And just and I think that would work well. And what I would do, because you say you feel like you don't push yourself hard enough when you're by yourself, and some people may not understand what you're going through, they try to push you too far. But you really do have to personally push yourself, but to lose the weight, and especially when you're doing the cardio, I recommend that you do high intensity interval training. So let's say if you're on the bike, I would do 1 minute of your personal fastest pace. Okay?
Okay.
1 minute of your personal fastest pace followed by 1 minute of a slow recovery pace. Let your heart rate come down. That's the time where you're recovering from all the energy you just exerted. And I will go back and forth and start off with only 15 minutes of doing that. That alone should speed your metabolism, and it helps with fat loss. That much more, but you have to find your happy medium, and it will take trial and error to see how your body responds to different types of exercises.
Now, is it true that so say for instance, instead of running, if I am doing a treadmill, is it true that if I do walking but do it on an incline, it's giving me that same balance as if I was running, or no?
Well, when you're on an incline, typically you're targeting the glutes and the hamstring, so it's not giving you the same, you said the same idea as if you were running?
Right.
No, it won't. It does increase your heart rate a little bit more, but when you're actually running, your heart rate is at a max. When you're on an incline, your heart rate is a little higher than from a steady state, flat, walking pace. So it's on the incline is that in between stage. It's in between walking and running. It's that in between. So it's definitely a step up from a steady pace on a flat surface.
Okay.
Which makes you work a little bit harder. You're welcome, honey. Which makes you work a little bit harder, and you will get a great benefit from it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try the bike, though. That is definitely a good option for me.
Yeah, try the bike.
I never really thought about it.
Try the bike and try the interval training. Now that will definitely challenge you.
Okay, and I think my last question is going to be for the good old relationship expert.
I'm listening.
So I'm a young lady who, I've been married before. I've been divorced. Went through the whole easy to get into, hard to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I find myself in a position where, I'm years later, I'm ready to settle down, I'm ready to be married again. And and I don't know if you already answered this question because I came in a little bit late, but what advice can you give us women who are born nurturers? We're born to give, and where do we give the boyfriend's husband benefits? Like, where does that line kind of stop? Like, what are some of the things that we need to stop doing in order for us to really still be able to get that chase, not really already having a cow up out of milk type situation?
Well, what you just said is exactly the key. Don't give the boyfriends the husband benefits, because there's no reason to become the husband. So it really, if you already know that you're falling into that territory, then you already know where the line is. So there's really no reason to ask. Because
it's hard sometimes when, you're used to doing certain things, whereas me, I may not look at cooking dinner all the time as a lot, where that may really be a line that I'm crossing.
not knowing that, oh no, we should be, you understand what I'm saying? If you're used to doing certain things, it's just habit for you. Whereas that really may be one of those things you need to cut out and say, no, this is a treat.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I said earlier is we always have to be conscious of who we are as individuals and be mindful of what your triggers are and what works for you. So intention is always key in anything that we do. We have to be mindful of that intention. So when you find yourself, and do a daily check-in, a weekly check-in, whatever works for you. But when you find yourself doing certain activities, be mindful of why you're doing it. Do you feel like, okay, well, I'm going to cook dinner because I just feel like cooking today, or, oh, I know he's coming over, so let me go. Do you find yourself going out of your way to make this extra special meal that you didn't have planned, but he called and said he's coming over, and now I got to step it up a notch? Or, because we just kind of had a disagreement, I'm not sure where we are, you find yourself doing a little extra to make changes around the house, or to do extra, send a few extra text messages just to kind of see where you are. Be mindful of that intention behind it. Are you doing it to kind of hold on, or to play it safe, or is it truly just that's just what you're feeling for the moment, and there's real no true emotion attached to it? Does that help you at all?
It does, because I can divert that to every situation, just kind of thinking about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it prior to me doing it, and it'll kind of cut back on, and no, maybe I don't need to do this.
Just kind of
take me for who I am.
Think about that, like that teacher pet type thing in school, where you see that student who's always the kiss up and always going overboard and being real extra for no reason. If you find yourself falling into that same category with your significant other, just do a self-check. It's like, wait a minute, what am I really trying to do here? What is this really about?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling in with all your questions.
You're welcome. You guys have a great evening.
You
the same. Thank you.
And WPB Radio, Styyle Chronicles. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is this Diane?
Is this Lalon?
Yes, it is. I was just calling to say hello to the panel.
Hey. Hey. How you been? Everything's going good?
Everything's going well.
Wonderful.
You have any questions for our panel tonight?
I do not have any questions. I just wanted to show my love and support to the makeup artist, who is my sister.
Oh.
I love you to death, baby girl. Support you wholeheartedly.
I love you. Thank you.
I want you to live out your passions and your dreams.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
We do have a question.
Oh.
I'm sorry, we do have a question. For the girly people, because I'm the non-girly one. Someone wants to know, what would be a good red makeup other than MAC, red lipstick other than MAC's Red Ruby Woo?
I'm wearing that right now.
Would not offer any alternative.
Yeah, so it's an OCC lip tar called Stalker. It's wonderful. It's a lip stain. You'll have it on for 48 hours. And it's great.
For 48 hours?
Yeah, because it stains your lips. So
is it going to stain my pillow?
It doesn't come off. Like, once it dries, it's there.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so it's a lip tar, and it's a tar for a reason.
So you gotta want to have a red lip for 2 days.
Yeah.
Right. Already have it lined up. Right. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Girl power, Monica. Hello, baby.
Hello. Oh, you said her name right. Well, let me get it together. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay, so we're getting right into these questions. We were answering, do you feel like the woman should take charge? And your answer was
no, and I was just stating that there are certain times when she may, and that's if there are certain strengths that she possesses over the male, and it could be something as simple as for finances.
Okay. Does anybody disagree with that?
I think the woman can take charge. However, I believe if she's always taking charge, she starts to think less of the man.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Monica.
Hey.
Why are you crossing your fingers?
So, you know, I really believe that I'm old school. I believe that men should provide certain things, and that women should not have to even think about it. So I do believe in roles, but I understand that there are times when one is stronger or more knowledgeable than others. So it just depends. It's situational, but I don't want to have to make all the decisions or protect and find. I don't do that kind. No, I do not. I'm not paying for food, clothing, and shelter. Monarchy and ants, no, ma'am.
That's just not your thing.
Because I don't believe in that. I believe that, you know, it's very much the old school that, yes, a woman can have her own. Yes, we should. But let me be your backup. Let me be your support. Let me make sure that, you know, we're okay as a unit. But don't look at me. You have to take care of yourself, too, before you met me. Didn't you have a house? Weren't you eating? Okay, so that's how I feel about it. But I do believe in being a support system, being a strong support system, and also being a team. I think that sometimes we forget about the team when you're talking about relationships, but everybody's relationship and everybody's marriage is different.
Right.
So I know, Kristen, you know, I don't want to talk about marriage, but, you know, sometimes we forget that, and you paint these ideas of what relationships are supposed, quote unquote, look like, but no two relationships are the same.
True.
And so we have to really figure out what works for you and how you meet people and how you are engaging with them. That's what you are committing to forever. It's not, oh, all of a sudden something's going to change because you got married. That is that's a fallacy.
Right.
It's when you're in that moment and you guys are enjoying each other's company and the decisions that you're making and the role that you're playing. So ladies, if you're always, you know, opening this door, if you're always paying for dinner, do not get mad and say, well, you never take me to dinner. Ma'am, you did that to yourself. So you set the tone for what you want and your expectations. When I got married, some people don't believe in it, but I had a marriage contract. And it wasn't a contract like, we're going to go to court. It was very much, this is what I'm expecting, this is what you're expecting, and there's no question about it in the middle. Everything. So far as finances, children, where we're going to live, what we expect out of each other in religious standpoints, because that's usually a huge one. You don't want to talk about that. We're all, you know, whatever. No, we talked about a lot of those things beforehand, which helps go towards the back end, and also the understanding of what expectations are.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah,
You
that's
have something?
Well, no, I'm just definitely going to say I agree with what Monica was saying just now, because it's important for us to recognize what those expectations are, but also share what those expectations are. Because one of the biggest challenges within relationships, we each come with these varying expectations. And the way you grew up, like my husband and I, we grew up in very different worlds, even though we both grew up in Baltimore City. So his expectations of what marriage looks like and what he's expecting in a relationship and mine, they were different. So we have to constantly make sure we are down to the nitty-gritty, clear on what your thoughts are, what my thoughts are, and how they mesh. And that's one of the biggest challenges people have. We come in with these expectations, but don't share them, so they turn into assumptions. And it's just a huge mess.
Excellent answers. Oh, you got something?
Yeah, so Kristen, do you think a relationship can survive if you guys are not evenly yoked, whether it's spiritually, financially? Do you think a relationship could survive?
Can it survive ever? Yes. Generally, no. But is there any possible way? There's always a way. There's always a way, but it's about having that mentality shift first. But in general, no, it's not going to work, because more often than not, you're not in that space.
Give me 1 second. We have a caller. WPB Radio, the Styyle Chronicles.
This is Terrence.
Hey! Hi, Terrence. Look, did you hear me when I was like, did you hear me when I said you got 49 minutes to call in?
I did hear you. I wanted to call in and say, ladies, thank you for being on the show. Mama Kia, thank you so much for coming back.
You're so welcome.
I appreciate it. I hope you ladies are having a great time. I hope that you are getting all the information out that you feel in your spirit to get out for our listening audience.
Yes.
Danielle, I hope you are learning as much as you possibly can from our guests.
Soaking it in.
Right. I apologize that I'm not there. I don't know if some of you ladies don't know that I'm no longer living in Maryland. I live in Atlanta now. So I given this show over to Danielle and Sean, and I'm pretty much just the overseer, making sure guests are booked and things are going smoothly from this end and all that good stuff. So my apologies for not meeting some of you in person, and I just hope you guys are having a great time.
We are.
I've heard a lot of the questions and answers and things. And Daniel, you got a little plethora of people there. You got someone who's a marriage and relationship expert.
Hey.
You have a woman here, a pick-up artist, fitness. You got to get that fitness in. Got to keep that body, that core together. You're covering all the bases.
That's what it was all about. When the topic came up, girl talk, I was like, I have to get people that, what we love to talk about or what we need to talk about, So I felt like that was going to be, covering a wide range. Thank you, sir. Thank you, boss.
I had a question before I leave. I had a question, and this goes for any of the ladies. This is where I have a problem with some ladies. And I want you ladies I have a problem with ladies who feel disrespected when another woman or a gentleman calls them out their name, but the way they're portraying themselves is what that person's what they're calling them out in the street. So if a gentleman or another female calls a woman a bitch, then they feel some kind of way, but that's how they are portraying themselves. How do you get across to that person, to that woman, that you need to change how you present yourself so that way you won't no longer be disrespected and being called out your name?
Who wants to take that?
The actions come from when truth sometimes show up. So it doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter if it's it's the B word, or if it's being fat, or if it's being too loud, or if it's being too confident. That's the neck switch that you hit. Like, wait a minute, what's the nerve? Who are you to be able to say that to me? So it's a lot of hard work that I know and growth work that we have to do. But when you say it, so Terrence, what you said to me is that if you're talking about a heated discussion and you say it, of course you're going to get a whole lot of attitude backlash. So, it's about how you also present what you're trying to convey. How are you saying or telling me? Are you coaching me? Are you serving me? Are you supporting me with your speech, or are you continue trying to break me down? So
what I realized, I don't mean to cut you off, but what I realized is not necessarily in the heat of the moment or something, but it's like talking and telling your friend, you know what, you shouldn't do this. But sometimes people don't like to be criticized. They don't like to be critiqued. They don't like to be telling what their flaw is. So how can you get through that person's head? Like, you being a bitch right now, and this, that, and the third, but they don't want to hear that because they think that they're flawless and they woke up like this.
That's Mr. Styles.
I'm like, no, you're not flawless, and you did not wake up like that. You had hole in your eye, you had a fly on your pillow, your hair was in a disarray, and your breath stinks. What you saying? You did not wake up like this. You're not flawless.
Lord knows we love turnstiles.
You know what I mean?
You got to. You got to.
Well, it's also important for us to recognize that even in those moments, generally when people are in that deep, they don't even realize what's going on. So we have to be able to speak to their future and speak to the love, speak with the love that we want spoken to us. Because at the end of the day, we all run into ratchet people. We all run into people who are trifling. We all run into people who are doing the most.
Right.
Say that. Say that.
All you gotta do is turn on VH1 and watch this Love and Hip Hop stuff. They doing it right then and there.
Pretty much any reality show nowadays.
Sure, really, yeah, absolutely.
But
I just thought I would put it out there because I just feel like a lot of that's happening. And then people are getting offended when you approach them, even in a pleasant way, and say, hey, you acting like this BITCH or whatever. The people are like, wait a minute, and then they throwing their hands up and they throwing their hand back and forth. And, well, who is you and who are you telling me? And like, no, I'm trying to give you something criticism of what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing it, and that means other people are saying it, and then you need to check yourself before you really go down a spiral that is going to be not a pleasant spiral. You know what I mean? It's going to be harder to dig you out of that. So that's why I just wanted to kind of put that out into the stylosphere of the show. So, yeah.
Awesome.
That was great. But ladies, thank you. I thank you again for being on the show. Danielle, you were rocking it out.
Hey.
Thank you. Girl talk, and I just hope you ladies enjoy the rest of the show and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yay. Terrence called in. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, and we probably have time for 3 hot, juicy questions. Stay tuned. WPB Radio and the Styyle Chronicles with our wonderful, excellent guests. We've been having a great time. We only have 8 minutes left. I hope you had an opportunity to enjoy the show. If you have any last minute questions, 1-888-400-5574. This is your last opportunity to give a call in. And we have a caller. WPB Radio, Styyle Chronicles.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How is everyone? This is Cannon.
Hi, Cannon.
Hi. I've been listening to your show, and I have 2 questions. I have one question about makeup. I have dark spots because of excess acne. So I wanted to know how to cover those up. I've tried liquid concealers. Nothing is like really setting and staying all day.
A regular concealer is not going to hide a dark spot. What you want to do is you need a orange concealer, or orange-based concealer to cancel out the dark spot. So NYX Cosmetics, which is a very affordable brand, you can find that at Target. It's like $5.99 on Ulta. So you will want to use the you will want to use the orange-based concealer first, and then you can go over top of it with your regular concealer that you use. But the orange concealer is what's going to cancel out the dark spots.
Okay, thank you. My second question is really a 2-part question. It's about relationships. I recently got out of a 3-year relationship, and I'm ready to move on. Ready to start dating, ready to start getting back into the swing of things. So how do I do that? And also, how do I tell my friends no when they continue to try to hook me up with people that I don't really want to be hooked up with yet?
Pow, let me start with question number 2. Because my mama, Monakia, is right here, and no is a complete sentence.
Absolutely.
So,
I know that's
you
right.
keep telling them no. You don't have to explain, you don't have to clarify, you don't have to break anything down. No, that's not what I want. Boom. No is a complete sentence. But as far as your first question, you have to know what it is that you want. So if you're looking to start dating again, what is your intention for dating? What are you looking to accomplish through dating? And from there, put in place how you want to show up when you do present yourself as available or approachable.
Ooh.
Okay. I got the line cards that I wasn't approachable. So I think I need to start there.
Because, and again, it all goes back to self. It all goes back to self. So just be mindful of how you present yourself and what your intentions are for the next person that you want to attract to your space.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you so much to everybody. You guys have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank
you. Bye.
Okay, so turn it up for these last couple of minutes. So the 2 questions that from Sean Mack that has gotten from some of the listeners is there a polite way for a guy to ask for a BJ?
Is there a polite way?
We have a caller. Thank you, caller. The Styyle Chronicles.
Hey ladies, this is Jamal from Jersey.
Hey Jamal from Jersey. How you doing tonight?
All right.
Oh, that Teddy Pig.
Oh, great.
I had a question for the relationship guru.
Okay.
All right. So as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see the roles in relationships fade away. Do you feel like there are still roles in the household for a man and a woman?
Are you saying rules or roles?
Roles. Like a man does this,
roles.
a woman
Okay.
does that. Or do you all share the responsibility? How do you think that's supposed to work?
My personal opinion on how it's supposed to work is that there are still general traditional roles in the household. However, each individual couple has to address those roles and those expectations. You have to be clear on, do both of you agree on traditional roles in the relationship? Because it doesn't matter what I think. When you two enter into that relationship, and especially if you're entering into official marriage, you have to be clear on, do you agree that yes, there are specific roles, and if so, what are those roles? And if you don't agree that you need to stick to the traditional route, you have to take that opportunity to sit down beforehand, before the marriage, to say, this is what I think marriage looks like, this is what I think my role is, and this is how I want to show up as a husband, this is how I want to show up as a wife, and then also this is how I want you to show up as a husband, and this is how I want you to show up as a wife, and then you mold it from there, and then you make a decision, okay, yeah, we want to go ahead and put the ring on it.
So with that being said, there should be some type of expectation.
Yeah.
Just in a relationship, period, you saying should there be expectations from each other?
From each other as far as a man and a woman. Like, I'm a man, so you should expect me to do this.
Okay.
And you're a woman, so I expect you to do these certain things.
Well, we all naturally have those expectations, but it's about conveying those. Right. You have to be able to say to that other person, this is what, you know, for you, you would need to say to your woman, this is what I'm looking for in a wife. These are the things that and you also look for those things in that person before you get too deep into the relationship. But if that's something that if you're looking at moving forward in a marriage, then you have to be able to say, this is what I am looking for, and this is my ideal relationship. And she should be able to say, well, this is what I'm looking for, and how do those two mesh together?
Did I help you out tonight?
It did. Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling.
All right.
And that pretty much sums us up for tonight. So we're gonna answer this question and do round table. Is there a polite way, or we can either do that question, or we can do does size really matter?
Let's do the first question.
Okay. So the first question is there a polite way for a guy to ask for a blowjob? And the answer is
no.
Why do you ask?
Right. Like, what do you get it?
No.
All right, Sean, that's your answer for you and all your boys that wanted to know. There's not a polite way to ask.
Right. Slam it on our forehead and tell
But I will say, but to go further with that, if you're running into, if the question is coming up because you're constantly being turned down, then there's something else that you need to look at as far as why always being turned down. There's generally something else going on that's not in relation to what's going on in the bedroom or the couch.
Yeah. Right. All right, so quickly, ladies, if you can just one more time for our listeners, tell us who you are, the name of your business, and how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, so this is Kristen Young. I am the marriage enthusiast. My business is Living the Vows. You can reach me at all things Living the Vows. So Facebook, Living the Vows. On Twitter, at Living the Vows. Instagram, Living the Vows. And you can email me, yes, Y-E-S, at livingthevows.com. And the website is www.livingthevows.com.
Hello, this is Sade. The name of my company is Faces by Sade Renee. I can be contacted at facesbyshaderenee@gmail.com or on Instagram at facesbysade_Renee. All right, so it's Monokia Nance here from Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation. You can always find us at hwhn.org and find Monokia at MONOKIA on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Again, it's MONOKIA, Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation. I hope you guys get to come and celebrate with us 12 years of service to the women around the globe. We're going to have a great time April 10th through the 12th, 2015 at the Pikesville Doubletree. I would love to see you there.
And thanks for having me. My name is Crystal Beverly. My business is K Monet Fitness. I am a certified personal trainer with the personal mission to inspire and empower women to conquer their bodies. I can be contacted on Instagram at K Monet Fitness. That's KMONETFITNESS. I can also be contacted on Facebook by my first and last name, which is Crystal with a K. Krystal, last name Beverly, Beverly. And lastly, you can contact me via email, which is kmonetfitness@gmail.com.
Excellent. And if you enjoyed tonight's show, we definitely want you to connect with us at our Facebook group under the Styyle Chronicles radio show. That's Style with 2 Y's. Or you can check us out on the web at www.thestyleChronicles.wordpress.com. And for your host, you can find me on any social media under The Danielle Baker. That's THEE Danielle Baker. Or you can go to my website at thedaniellebaker.com. We hope that you enjoyed Girl Talk tonight and that all of our listeners was able to walk away with some really great, useful information. And we also want to thank Thelma Smith with Inspiring You Life Coach Business that also had given us some information early in. Thank you to our executive producer, Mr. Terrence Styles, and our other host, Sean Mack. We will hear from you and talk with you next Monday from 7 to 10. Thank you.